Metamorphosis, the only appropriate word that I believe describes what is about to happen in the sleepy suburb of Spring Hill, Tennessee. In this video, we're going to discuss what that actually means. We're also going to discuss life in Spring Hill. And if you stay until the end, we're going to talk about 2 negatives of living in Spring Hill that everybody needs to know about. It all starts right now. My partner Tucker here today. Tucker, you've been selling a lot of houses recently. Talk to me about Spring Hill. Why are people moving there, and is it a good place to live?
Sure. So I think big picture is when you look at a certain price point, that 600,000 to 1.2 million, when we have people relocating here, it's usually because of a corporate relocation. And most of those corporate offices are in Spring Hill, Franklin, and Brentwood. And when you look for affordability and needing a certain number of bedrooms, Spring Hill is a great place to start.
Man, that's exactly right. Spring Hill is the value play. Why is that, you think?
Clay, I think it really comes down to is that Spring Hill has had the land and the farmland to really go and develop, to have the underground utilities and really these planned developments that people really want. And when you look at Nashville, there is a certain amount of terrain that can really affect those things. Spring Hill is able to provide those options.
Yeah, Spring Hill's got a history of being farmland and agricultural. Most important piece of it to me is that it's on I-65, which is the main interstate from Nashville, Tennessee, straight south to the coast. You're on I-65. And so you pass Spring Hill on the way as you travel south, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. So location-wise, it's on that main interstate. And man, there's just tons of farmland. And so it has been developing over the last 20, 30 years, especially. There's space to develop. What else do people need to know about here, Tucker?
Sure. Well, the other piece of what draws people to Spring Hill is the school system. You can always go to greatschools.org and find out more information, but people want Williamson County schools. And since that's the number one option, and when you're looking for a certain number of bedrooms and a certain number of square footage, that brings us back to Spring Hill.
That's right. Niche.com gives Spring Hill an A- as an overall grade of best places to live. And the school system, it gives a B+. That said, Williamson County is going to have your highest schools in the area. And Spring Hill is made up of 2 counties. It's Murray County to the south, Williamson County to the north. So depending on where you buy in Spring Hill, you could get Williamson County schools. We also see a lot of customers move here and specifically look for Williamson County schools. So it is a draw. The school system is strong. They've built several new schools in the area. And so it's definitely a draw that we see a lot of families relocating here that are wondering about what's the school situation. That's just one noteworthy piece of it. What else, Tucker?
The key thing I want to talk about is first, if we start at that 600,000 price point, I want to talk about Harvest Point. It's right near the Cadillac plant and the new battery plant. It's on the far side. But large development, you have that walkability, you've got the parks and everything, and you're surrounded by trees and hills. It is gorgeous. That's probably a really good place to start. Maybe a drawback to some people go is there's kind of too many homes in there. But if you're along those outer skirts, around the perimeter, boy, those are some gorgeous views.
Spring Hill's a beautiful area. I mean, no doubt about it. It's like Brentwood or Franklin. It's just a little further south. And so it's a very scenic area. You know, Tennessee countryside, as it's getting developed, is changing. I would say this, Spring Hill to me is about to really get a facelift. It's about to really change. It's about to be a lot more exciting than it has been. Tucker, any idea why I'm saying that?
Well, it's got to be June Lake. And so obviously we've got several videos that really cover June Lake and the new exit, which is really bringing a lot of attention to the area. That's really going to be a 20-year development. But if you want to go, Tucker, I want to be near some of that stuff. My budget's a little bit more than 600,000. Maybe it's sub $1 million. I would definitely look at Spring Hill Place. You're going to be that sub $1 million, 5 bedrooms, and you're in really walkability to all the retail that's headed your way.
You nailed it. It's about to become Spring Hill 2.0, in my opinion. Until now, Spring Hill has had challenges with traffic, with infrastructure, and it's still going to have growing pains. I mean, every area that is developing in America is having growing pains, but it's about to change. The game's about to change in Spring Hill with the addition of June Lake. The exit is supposed to open now, April of 24, but right off I-65, it's a new gateway into Spring Hill. And with that comes a ton of new infrastructure and buildings. It's a 775 acre development that's happening on the interstate right there. Definitely check out our other videos about June Lake because it's going to move the needle. This is going to be the value buy in all of Williamson County, in my opinion. Given the accessibility to Cool Springs, to Nashville, to the interstate, June Lake is going to move the needle, and it's going to redevelop, redesign what we know as Spring Hill, because it's going to change the commercial center, I believe, to be right by the interstate. Right now, it's several miles off the interstate, and there's no easy way to get there. You got to do a bunch of driving to get to commercial. That's all changing. I'm super excited about that. It's going to become a really, really cool destination. What else is going to come along with that, Tugger?
Well, sure. And also, when we talk about the housing options for June Lake, if you're looking for that one level, maybe you're empty nesters now and you need 3 or 4 bedrooms, but all want to be on one level, you're about $700,000 to $800,000 as a starting point. So if you got time and you're going, I've got 9 to 12 months and I can wait for the finished product, I would definitely start there. And of course, you can go up to 1.3, 1.4, depending on how big you want. Not going to have much yard, but boy, you're going to have a lot of retail options. So from that whole area, I love it. There's also plenty of options just right around that June Lake corridor. And so don't forget those. So if you're needing more square footage, we can look at a little bit older homes and pick up some square footage. You might need some updating, but there are options.
That's right on it, man. The deal with Spring Hill compared to Franklin is it's still a value buy. You get more for your money. There's actually housing options available. Whereas in some areas of Franklin, it's super tight on inventory. It's harder to find the price points you may want. It may be older product. In Spring Hill, you're going to be able to get newer houses at a much better value, at a better price point than some of those areas of Franklin, definitely better than Brentwood. And I would say it's going to be, where else in Williamson County should we talk about in this conversation? Nolensville is part of the conversation for sure. I love Nolensville. It's Williamson County. It's going to have a lot to like there. It's not going to have the access to the interstate that you're going to get in Spring Hill. Same with Fairview. I like it. It's just harder to get to. Am I right?
I think every week I'm back in Fairview looking at something. $1 million home is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. So if you want to feel and see the hills of Tennessee, there's some wonderful product out there. 5 bedrooms, nice large basement. A basement usually is a conversation, especially for people that are moving out west. Out west, they have earthquakes. Here we have tornadoes, and they always seem to want to talk about, where do I go for a tornado? Of course, we have to talk. We don't have tornadoes that often, and so it's not a number one topic, but it is there. Just remember, when we talk about Spring Hill, Tennessee, you're really on the southern side of Williamson County, which is just south of Nashville. As you continue to move north in Williamson County, those price points really start to escalate. So $1 million in Brentwood, you're going to be really unhappy with what you see. You really need to be in that $2 to $3 million range to see the home that's really dialed in to get all the features that you can get in Spring Hill.
Yeah, and it all comes back to what location works for your life and what's your budget, right? So Brentwood's going to be closer to Nashville, depending on where you work and you need to be close and you can afford it, and you may prefer that. Spring Hill is about to become, as it adds commercial to it, and depending on where you work, Spring Hill is going to be a value play, and you're going to have brand new product. It's going to be a pretty nice lifestyle. If you're trying to stay closer to home there, if you got to go to Nashville every day, that's going to be some driving, right?
Well, it is, Clay, but you also have to remember, as Nashville's growing, you're going to get these outer bands. But what you need to know is the majority of these companies that are really moving to Williamson County, which is on the southern side of Davidson County or downtown Nashville. And so you're seeing the city grow south. And so everything's really moving your way. So all the amenities and everything that you really want are really coming to your backyard.
Man, what a time to be alive. Tucker, let's talk about the negatives. Why would somebody not like living in Spring Hill, do you think?
The number one thing is, for the majority of Spring Hill, is there's just no infrastructure. So you just need to know that a lot of these neighborhoods are the roadways to get to the interstate. So you do have some main roads, but mainly they all go through the neighborhoods.
Yeah, it's a little weird in some areas, but it's about to get a ton better. This new exit where June Lake is, I think the traffic count, they said they're expecting 17,000 daily drivers on this exit. If you stop and think 17,000, that feels like that's a lot of cars every single day. That's going to make life for a lot of Spring Hillians a lot easier, depending on where their neighborhood is, to get to. That's noteworthy. So it's about to get better as we enter Spring Hill 2.0. And Tucker, talk to me about another negative of living in Spring Hill currently.
Yeah, so really there's a lack of options right now on things to do. I think that might change with June Lake. So if you're looking for things to do, you're really going to move up to Cool Springs or you're going to go into Nashville. And I can give you a host of places to go, mainly because I've got two small kids and we are always downtown because there's always something new opening up.
That's right. It's an entertainment issue to me. Yes, there's a movie theater. Yes, there's parks. There is some things to do, but not nearly what you're going to find entertainment wise, nightlife wise. There's restaurants, but there's going to be a ton more options if you go just a little north of Cool Springs. Some people are going to go south to Columbia, the historic Columbia, to find nightlife or entertainment. There's just not a ton of stuff to do after 5 p.m. I'll put it that way. Currently, I agree. It's going to change with 2.0 as more commercial comes in. It's going to be a draw for a lot of new businesses. And so it's going to change, but it may just be a little bit boring for some people that really are looking for a ton of activity. And like you said, true Nashville is going to have all of that. I mean, more than enough, but you got to drive to get there. So I would say that's the weakness of it currently. But for a phase of life or a certain lifestyle, it makes a lot of sense. You know, raising kids, looking for schools, maybe even remote workers. There's a lot to like about Spring Hill. Tucker, what else do we need to talk about if somebody's considering moving to Nashville and Tennessee?
Yeah, Clay. So I think a couple things. So yes, if you're relocating here from another state, a great place to start is Spring Hill, Tennessee. You also have Thompson Station, which is just a hair north of Spring Hill. Don't forget Nolensville, Tennessee. Fairview's a great place. It continues to grow. You can go right on into Nashville. It's very simple. You're still in Williamson County, which is really what people are looking for.
So Spring Hill has an interesting history. After being part of the Civil War battles a long time ago, more recently, Spring Hill really has become an industrial hub for a lot of big companies. It was the site of the Saturn Corporation, if you remember the Saturn vehicles, back in 1990 to 2007. They were making the Saturn vehicles that came out of there. In 2007, GM, which is the parent company of Saturn, shut down the facility and retooled it for the production of other GM vehicles, and they named it Spring Hill Manufacturing. The plant reopened in February 2008 and became the assembly point for the new Chevy Traverse vehicle. From there, GM had several different other vehicles kind of come and go from this area, but in April of 2021, GM and South Korean joint venture partner LG Energy Solution said they would build a second U.S. battery cell manufacturing plant, revealing plans for a $2.3 billion factory in Spring Hill, Tennessee. That's pretty significant. Spring Hill has also gone through a rapid redevelopment and growth here recently, and they've been hiring a lot of local people. That's really led Spring Hill to grow like crazy, and as well as other companies have announced setting up shop in Spring Hill, Tennessee. The list of schools in the area. Now, on the Murray County side, you have Spring Hill High School, Spring Hill Middle School, Battle Creek Middle School, Spring Hill Elementary, Marvin Wright Elementary, and Battle Creek Elementary. On the Williamson County side of the schools, you have Summit High School, Spring Station Middle, Heritage Middle, Allendale Elementary, Chapman's Retreat Elementary, Longview Elementary, and Heritage Elementary. That's more in the Thompson Station area. As far as private schools go, you have Columbia Academy, Spring Hill Academy, and Zion Christian Academy. Now, according to niche.com, Spring Hill has a population around 50,000 people. And it says many families and young professionals live in Spring Hill, and residents tend to lean conservative. Also, the public schools are above average. My name's Clay. Tucker, the team, and I, we get contacted every single day from people just like you, and you about moving to Tennessee, and we love it. We're a real estate team, so we help people. We take calls. Jump on the phone if you got questions. Feel free to call us. The number's in the info below. Our desire is to help people connect all the dots so they can make the right move. So if you're thinking about moving to Tennessee this year, next year, anytime, we'd love to talk with you and answer any questions, help you figure it out. And hey, if this kind of information is interesting to you, don't forget to subscribe and come follow along with us as we explore all these different areas around Middle Tennessee, all these pockets, these neighborhoods, these counties, these cities. This is what we do. So follow along with us, and until next time, we hope to show you around town.